Sanjiv Bhasin then joins in to talk about what he's making of the market. Sanjiv, hi, morning. And just taking a cue from Nitish Kumar, seems like mandate 2024 is a clear victory for BJP already because it seems like a very fragmented opposition.
Good morning, Awan. Sorry, good morning, Aisha and Awan. Yes, I think this weekend, what they call Palturam has really changed the equation. And that means the bullish tone in the market, which was lacking in the last week due to HDFC, should be resurrected. I think it's a perfect time for India now to outperform. Last 2 weeks, we've been a laggard, more to do with the correction, which was much needed. But if you saw corporate results, if you saw even HDFC, it's because of the over ownership. In the end, we have to realize that this is now the fifth largest bank, and I think mid caps are stealing the show. So thumbs up to this political development. It only gathers more momentum that there can be more stability on reforms, on continuity of government, and I think that should be a kicker both for the rupee and for the stock market.
Okay, fair enough. And having said that, it's also a very big week. Not only do we have the budget, but a whole host of numbers that will be coming out. Do you think that this time around it's going to be ITC that will be very closely monitored? And Sanjeev, give us a sense as to what the expectation is from the conglomerate.
Yeah, so good morning, Awan. I think ITC, GAIL, there are quite a few large cap stocks which are coming out with numbers. Now, ITC, remember, the results will be good, but large part of that is already built in. And we know that the ESG factor has played out. The stock from 250 rally to 500. They demerged the hotel business, which is just 10%. And we will wait for more language. But I think their FMCG business, which has been a star outperformer, is going to see better performance on the side of margins. I would look for that language, because FMCG rural sector has been a laggard in this last month. And we've seen the, outperformance of PSU, metals, and the whole host of capital good stocks. So ITC actually could be one of the better play on the FMCG side. And plus, we'll wait for more language on how the environment is. I think there will be a beat on market on numbers, but maybe that's already in the price. So I would expect this range of 450 to 465, 470 continue to buy ITC. On the other hand, I think GAIL will come out with very, very good numbers. And, some of the mid caps actually will steal the show. We will mention some mid caps which we think are going to be the ones which will make money. And that is where you should be prepared, because the index will need more recovery in HDFC Bank and the Bank Nifty after being so heavily oversold.
What's the expectation as we're now entering a new series and, we've gone through that slight underperformance when it comes to some of the marquee banking names? I know you touched upon HDFC Bank, but what's the outlook in terms of the pecking order in general for banks as we step into the new series, Sanjeev?
So Aman, clearly now ICICI Bank trades at a higher valuation. It's trading close to 3x price to book. HDFC Bank in last 20 years, I have not seen, not 20, but 15 years, it's trading at 2.5 times. It becomes a perfect long-term candidate. But right now, the show is with ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank, Can Bank, I think State Bank numbers will be very strong. On the other hand, look at the numbers from smaller banks like Union Bank. My favorite here would be Bandhan Bank. I think Bandhan has seen more than inordinate selling because of HDFC, emptying its share after the merger of Group Finance. And that has played out perfect for the underperformance. But at 220, less than 1 time price to go, given that Bandhan is now, slowly and surely reduced its uncollateralized book into the collateralized side, I think Bandhan can be an outperformer. One more play which I would like to say is in the SME space. A lot of people miss the SME space. I had spoken about this stock called Electroforce when it got listed at 93, and I had given a target of 130, 150. Stock hit 142 and is available at 117. It will come out with very stellar numbers, Avan. It will come out with an FY25 profit of 35 crore. It has a market cap of 250. It is supplying electricals and switchgears to the most niche players like Schneider and Siemens. And this stock has a market cap of 250, trading at 5 times 1 year. The rest of the group over there or the peers trade at 35 times. I think the market cap should be at least 1,000 crore. But given that, I think 115 can become 150 to 175 in the next 2 months. So Electroforce is one SME stock which you should actually add in your portfolio in this, weakness of the overall market.
Okay, quite an interesting name there from the SME basket.
Bhasin Saab, good morning.
Good morning, Nikunj. Good morning.
What should we start with? Politics, winter in Delhi, or the gap up start in Nifty? Let's start politics, sir. Now markets are getting more and more convinced that 2000 May elections is more like a formality.
Well, there is many a slip between the club and the lip, but now the odds are getting more and more stronger after those three straight elections. Now Bihar turning Paltu is a big event, and I think there is no alternative. So if we get continuation of the government and the policies, more than that, I think then definitely. When in my lifetime have I seen PSUs perform the way they have? And it's evident that results will speak for themselves. We have been one of the better performing markets, notwithstanding this last 2 week correction. And I think we regain our mojo. And now the uncertainty gets reduced and the budget is a formality. The Fed is more on hold. The inflation numbers there are moderating. And I think it could be born homey at least for the next few months till we get the election verdict, which will maybe add volatility 1 week before and 1 week after. Nikunj. Weather in Delhi has become much more softer. It is 12 degrees now from 3.5, 4 degrees or maybe 10. And that is adding more, warmth. On the third front, you said the stock market at 140 plus. I think sustaining here is very, very crucial. And I think the worst may be behind last week, more to do with the over excessive sell-off in HDFC Bank. Broader market is hitting new highs. So we are tracking the stocks which are hitting new highs rather the ones which are lagging the market.
Okay, fair enough. What's the outlook then when it comes to, the likes of an SBI card and AU Small? We were just going through the earnings roundup, and it seems like some of the inherent issues are prevalent across both of these companies when it comes to the earnings fine print. For instance, even SBI cards has been downgraded by some of the brokerages.
So, Aman, clearly the cost of funding has gone up, and you know that SBI card is one of the largest funders from SBI and so on, and 80 basis point does mean that margins will be under pressure. But on the other hand, look at HDFC Bank in this all unfortunate sell-off or fortunate. They've crossed 2 crore on the credit card side, and I think SBI card as a brand is doing extremely well. We all know digital, fintech, and credit cards are now the best place to be in. So I think over a period of time, I would expect stabilization of margins coming by the next 2 quarters. Same would be the case with AU Bank. We are aware some of these mid-cap banks have seen pressure on margins due to cost of deposit, but I think that's a passing storm. If HDFC did underperform, then you don't expect some of these mid-caps to outperform, even though their CASA ratios are much better equipped. But I think clearly the favor now is in the realm of outperformance from some of the smaller banks, given that most of the bad news is in there, and the credit expansion, which is evident from the credit deposit ratios of the large caps like HDFC, ICICI. Those will be the ones which will be sought after.
Why is there no pre-budget excitement this time? I mean, historically, whether it is vote on account or budget, Bhasin Saab, markets always tend to speculate. There is always a buzz. There is always a positioning. This time around, there is just no talk.
So, Nikunj, the detail is in the eye of the beholder. That Lakshmi Bank hit a new circuit. NBCC is up 16%. It's up 45% in the last 1 month. And Hutco is up 30%. The people are missing the woods for the trees. This is a 9-year high for a lot of these stocks, and they've underperformed miserably for the last, like I said, decade. We are too prone into looking at large cap and the index specifically. If 22,000 became 21,200, it is a hurting factor for the index players. But the broader market is where the money is. Nalco, NMDC, they are hitting new highs. GAIL is hitting new highs. I think the real fervor will come once you are through with this uncertainty and overhang of HDFC Bank. And that is now more or less played out. I would expect banks actually to lead the charge, given that credit expansion on small cap housing and the likes is going to be the flavor. There are not going to be too many big points from the government, since this is a standout. It's just a statement of account. The main budget will come later. But three things stand out: the political stability over the weekend, the overdone part on the bank nifty because of HDFC, and three, the clear outperformance of mid caps. So put your money in some of the mid caps. We suggested Electro Force. We think this stock can give you a 50% return easily in the next 3 months.
All right, Sanjiv, good to have you on board. Thanks so much for joining in and sharing with us your thoughts on the markets.